Web3 TV.
Today we're talking about energy, more specifically renewable energy. Even as the world surpasses 40% clean power from renewables, trading that energy still remains slow, fragmented, not to mention costly, and lacks transparency. But now a startup called D.Energy believes it can solve that. This weekend they're launching the public pre-sale of their Watt token, aimed at modernizing renewable energy trading through blockchain technology. The goal is to create a new energy-backed economy where tokens are only minted when real verifiable power is produced. Today we're joined by Shafi Rafi, CEO and founder of D.Energy, to talk about the public pre-sale of their token and why they believe a blockchain technology can get the job done. Thank you, Shafi, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Absolute pleasure.
So really exciting news. You just announced the public pre-sale of the Watt token. Tell us a little bit more about this. What should early investors know? And which network will it be operating on?
So it's on our own network. It's the D.Energy network. We have our own blockchain. It's a layer 1 blockchain that's powered by a consensus mechanism, which we have developed in-house. It's our own proprietary consensus mechanism, which basically requires the nodes to stake renewable energy. So Watt coins can only be generated, like you rightly said, when verified renewable energy has been redeemed and offset.
Interesting. And when we talk about energy, crypto and renewable energy doesn't really go together. So tell us a little bit more about the token itself and why blockchain is going to solve one of the world's most challenging problems.
Our kind of outlook for the way renewable energy and blockchain kind of merge, it's, we're heading toward a digital era where everything is going to be completely electrified. We've seen electric cars, AI, and all of these emerging technologies are very energy thirsty. Even blockchain, Bitcoin is extremely energy thirsty. So for the world we're heading into, without having a protocol or an economy about renewable energy, because renewable energy obviously is much more valuable and desired than traditional, fossil fuel burning energy. So what we've managed to do is to be able to find these technologies in an industry that actually, like you said at the beginning of the show, rightly is lacking progress, is lacking innovation. By adding blockchain technology to this industry, we democratize it. So we allow anyone to buy energy.
So talk to me a little bit about how renewable energy trading has worked in the past, why it's been so-called slow and fragmented and lacks transparency. What have been the challenges?
Currently now, for you to trade these energy assets, you need to find a broker, you need to find a government registry where you can store these energy certificates. It's a very protracted, archaic process. With our application, you just download our app within, a KYC process within a few minutes. That's even if you want to KYC. You can even purchase these energy certificates without KYC, but then you don't have the redemption possibilities without the KYC. So what we're doing, we're making a peer-to-peer trading system within our wallets that allow you to buy and sell renewable energy.
How can you actually how can you mint a coin?
To mine our coin requires you to produce electricity 1,000 times more than you're using. And the token is basically the incentive. The token you get rewarded for engaging with our system. So when 1,000 megawatts of these certificates is offset, then Watt coins is produced. So Watt coins is what our nodes are offsetting. The reward they get for offsetting and being compliant is Watt coins. That's the added bonus. So Watt coins is a product of 1,000 megawatts of offset by our network. So it has an underlying value.
So just so the viewer understands, how much is 1,000 megawatts of energy?
Our network would use 1 megawatt, maybe, obviously, depending on the traffic and depending how many people are engaging with it. But for example, the average household may use 1 megawatt within a few months, let's say, or let's say 6 months, right? The average household. So once you use 1 megawatt of electricity, once our blockchain uses 1 megawatt, let's say it takes 3 months to use 1 megawatt of electricity, right? Once we have a very efficient ecosystem. Our blockchain isn't energy intensive in the first place. So besides being super sustainable because it uses renewable energy to power the network, it's also a very energy efficient system that we're using. So these certificates, once they're offset, the Watt coins are produced.
You were talking about how when you purchase a token that you need to produce sustainable energy. So talk to me a little bit more about what that sustainable energy looks like.
So this is I think the very difficult thing people find to understand, because electricity is such a difficult concept to understand because it can never really grasp electricity. When electricity is produced, whether it's from the sun, solar, completely renewable energy, or if it's from burning coal, dirty fossil energy, once it's fed into the grid, it becomes electricity. And then it has no more unique properties. Once it's electricity, it's just electricity. You cannot tell how it was produced. So for accounting purposes, whenever electricity is produced from a renewable source, whether it be solar, wind, or whatever, government entities, there is a system, an international system that's in place, and it's been in place for more than 15, 20 years, where the producer of the renewable energy is given a certificate. Now, that certificate issued to them is the right to claim the use of that renewable energy. So they sell the electricity at the same price as the dirty electricity or the fossil fuel electricity. And their incentive for creating the renewable electricity is being able to sell that certificate. Now, who buys that certificate? Someone like Amazon, who has, ESG, or who has, ethical responsibilities because of the kind of size of the organization they are. They may use those certificates to buy them to offset their warehouses that they're storing and they're doing all their deliveries from, or something like that. And that's the kind of incentive where governments now in the US, these certificates had no value. These certificates, they call renewable energy certificates. So essentially what we're doing, we're bringing these all on chain, where we're integrated. We have a license to do the international standard. We cover like 60 plus countries. Obviously, we're adding Europe and the US as well, but we're launching into the international region. So these certificates essentially are only localized certificates. So in the US, only US companies would buy it. There isn't a use case for a Dubai entity to buy US certificates. So we've changed all of that. Within our ecosystem, you can buy a US certificate and you can stake it and earn a yield. So we've changed the whole game with renewable energy and what's possible and how you can engage with it. And I think through this mechanism of what we've done, we're definitely going to bring about this clean energy backed economy.
Yeah, it sounds great. You can get paid to trade your renewable energy. But what you're talking about are RECs, the renewable energy contracts, which are highly regulated. So how are you ensuring that these are being able to be used cross borders?
So the registries where these operate from, the highly regulated registries, which are government approved, we are licensed by them. We are API integrated into them. So your certificates are never really actually stored with us. They're stored by yourself on behalf of us. Essentially, we're just making a digital twin of it on the blockchain, but the actual underlying asset doesn't leave our kind of operating system, if that makes sense. So it's a closed loop system. We don't send energy out of our system.
And how do you see this playing out in the mainstream? Do you see a lot of demand for these types of tokens and trading of renewable energy?
I see a massive demand for such investments, to be able to stake renewable energy and then redeem it, offset it. There's an ethical side to it. There's a financial, speculative side to it. So, I feel like we're hitting many boxes of what blockchain potential could be. And the companies, they meet their ESG standards. Most companies right now are obligated to make sure that they're tracking their carbon footprint, and these requirements are only going to become more by the governments over the years. If governments want to hit net zero by 2050, and this is something I think the US has now left the Paris Accord, but most nations are still signed up to it. For them to hit that, they're having to spend $4.5 trillion annually. We're already behind $3 trillion of investment annually. So we're about to see this whole sector go supersonic. A lot of money get poured into it. So yeah, I'm very optimistic with how D.Energy fits in the crypto landscape.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to become a booming industry. But 5 years from now, how do you hope that renewable energy trading looks like?
So yeah, in 5 years, I would love for renewable energy trading to be something very standard for people, for them to look at renewable energy as this asset that they can engage with, they can buy and sell, look at different periods, how weather cycles potentially predict if solar is going to be in more demand or less demand, and have data on these things, and everyone would have some kind of idea and understanding of the energy they're consuming.
Definitely. And just if people want to find the token, can you just find it?
D.Energy's native coin is called Watts, like electricity watts, WATT. Whatcoins is having a public sale on the 31st of August. So in a few days, we are opening it to the public. It's a very short, there'll be a flash sale. It's not going to be open for very long. So people are interested. If they are eager, this is your opportunity to buy at the bottom. So I would definitely say join our Telegram, join our Discord. All the announcements are there. Follow our socials, and yeah, be prepared for what's coming. We have a lot in store. We have a lot of exciting things in store.
Well, thank you, Shafi, for joining us today. It's been a pleasure.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Perfect. And that's all that we had for you today. My name is Lisa Amnegard, and you're watching Web3 Talks.